Hello. This lecture is about JavaScript, cookies and web storage. So let's get into it. Alright, so the purpose here of the web storage or JavaScript web storage and cookies is to persist user data. Not on the server side, we are not collecting data from all our users and saving them in our server side using PHP or ASP script with a database. No, it's on the user client side. So we're gonna ask, as a programmer, we're gonna write a JavaScript to ask the browser to save the user data on his or her machine. Why do we want to do that? So remember, guys, you had experience, all of you, in visiting some websites, e-commerce website, and sometimes you are browsing, you are looking at the merchandises, and you don't buy, you don't do any transaction, you are just a user, you didn't log in, they know nothing about you. Then 2 days later or sometime later, when you go back to the same URL, the same website, they remember which items you have been looking at, and they will advertise similar items. How do they know what were your preferences? That's because they were saving data on your machine using cookies or web storage. So they didn't save them in their server side. Okay, they save them on your machine. So these cookies and web storage, they are just files of data, of information that are related to you, the browser, I'll say the guy who was surfing their website, and they store it on your machine. Okay, so why is that? Why they cannot remember your information by just whenever you revisit them they remember you? Why do they have to save data on your machine? That's because the HTTP is stateless, meaning that it has no state, it cannot remember. HTTP protocol, which is a program on the server side, is a program that serves your request as a user. Okay, you as a user, you type a URL, you want to locate or you want to get into a web page from a website, so you type URL, the HTTP protocol will service your request by sending the page with the HTML and JavaScript to your computer. Alright, next time, or when you refresh or you leave the page, whatever interaction you did, if you didn't send them to their server, they cannot remember it. So in order to remember your interaction at that time, at the time of you visiting their page, they might use cookies or web storage to store your preferences, all right, or some of your data in your very location, your machine. Next time when you revisit the same page, that web page will query your local machine, your local file, and extract your preferences. All right. So now the main difference between these two, the cookies and the web storage, all right, is that the cookies, you have two ways to code them or program them. You can use client-side JavaScript cookies, all right, or you can use server-side. Server-side is more secure, of course. Whereas the web storage are exclusively for browser. They are not for server side. They cannot be on the server side. So they are client side. The web storage. Okay, let's start with the web storage first, guys. All right. I have an example here. We're gonna run this example on different browsers, on Chrome and on the Firefox. Always F12, guys, to learn better. I'm gonna go to application here. You see the application here, and here you can see the web store the storage here. Storage, which is an object. You have local storage. It's a file. Nothing is there. You have session storage. You have IndexedDB and WebSQL. They are not our concern for the time being. And we have the very famous cookies, which are also a file. Web SQL, you see, they are kind of database here, but we're not going to touch this for the time being. So this local storage, session storage, and cookies, they are merely files that are stored on your computer, on your end user computer. So these are called local storage. All right, and we have session storage, both of them. Okay, the object here is called storage. All right, now let's use local storage example here. So local storage, and we're gonna create an information to store on my machine. So let's say I choose a color. My color that I was looking at is red. Okay, and the local storage, let's say the course I was browsing or trying to learn from was JS423. So this with set item, which is an API for local storage, I created an information. If I go to local storage, this is the color red and the course is JS43. So it's always key and value. Alright, and this is stored as a file. Alright, so I can do this as well. Object, remember, dot keys, and apply the local storage there. And it's going to give me all the keys. So it's the color and the course. Or I can also use value. So it's an array and I can go through them. So the value is going to be red and JS423. Now what happened here is that when I close this and I rerun the Chrome, so the session is gone or is done. I'm refreshing. I go and visit the same page. I go to F12. I go to application and I see my stuff is still there. Good. Alright, so I can do local storage here. And it's an object. Can you see, guys, an object of type storage here? So it has a field and a value, comma, field, value. Alright. Now what about session storage, guys? It's empty for the time being, so I'm going to do the same thing. So session storage, and we're going to see the differences. Okay, session storage, it does the same thing as local storage. So set item, it has the same API as well. And let's put here, okay, name, NAS, and the hour I like to work at is, let's say, 20.20 AM. Alright, now if I go to application, the color and the cost is for my local storage. My session storage has got another file and its name and hour, NAS 2020. Now if I do session storage, it's going to give you the object. You can also go through them, through the elements of your session using the object session storage. Objects dot keys, get all the keys from your session storage. I didn't close, or you get all the values as well. Whichever you like, you can really go through your elements. So NAS 22. Now this persists as long as I am running this. Okay, I'm going to take the same thing here, guys. Control C and go to another browser. You will see nothing is there. So the local storage and session storage are very, very exclusive to every browser. All right. So F12 here. In here we call them storage in Firefox, and I have cookies here. I have local storage, and this is good, guys. In Firefox, it gives you the location of your web storage. No, sorry, this is the file. No, it doesn't give you. Sorry. So if I go here, nothing is there. Nothing is there. I have to create my own here. So session storage dot set attribute. No, sorry, set item, and let's do name and Peter. Local storage dot set item, and what did we do in the Chrome? We used in the local storage, we use color and cost. Let's use the same thing here. So let's use colors. I'm using S on purpose, and it's a green here. And local storage, my course is PHP, or which one you are learning right now? C#. Alright, C#. Now if you go to storage here, you will see the local storage. I have the key value colors green, my course on mu course, sorry, C#. If you go to session storage, it's something else. It's named Peter. And this local storage and session storage are very different from this local storage and session storage from another browser, even though it's the same, really the same website. Alright, so each web browser has its own storage. Now, what's the difference between local storage and session storage? Guys, you have seen me closing this and reopening the web browser, and the local storage is always the same. Now I'm gonna do with the session storage. Can you see the session storage here? Name and hour. Or I'm gonna go here. Okay, refresh everything here, and session storage. Just give me. I have name NAS and 2020. Local storage. It's color red and JS32. If I close this tab, I'm gonna copy this. All right, close this. Refresh, F12, no, F12. Session storage is gone. What about the local storage? It's still there. Let's do it with the web browser here. Okay, I'm gonna go to console here, remove everything. What's my local storage so far? It's a new course with the C# colors green. Now, what about the session storage? It's name Peter, length, name Peter, only one. All right. And of course, you see them here. Local session storage and local storage. So the name is really expressive here. I'm gonna take this, Control C, close it, open a new tab. I am in a new session now. All right. F12, go to console here and get my local storage. Oh, it doesn't save it. How come? Session storage. That's weird. Okay, it's Firefox, guys. So I don't know what options I have set here in the privacy, or maybe it's too private. Yes. So just remember that local storage is persist forever, unless you have some settings here, okay, options, and you go to privacy and you really want to clear everything. That's what I'm doing with because I do most of my stuff in Firefox. It's more secure, all right, because when you do banking or whatever, or you are watching movies and you don't want cookies, you don't want some nasty stuff to persist on your computer. You might need to set your privacy very strict. So I think this one is very strict. So that's why the local storage is not saved for a long time. This is a good example, guys. So I'm happy that I have this good example here. So local storage, even if I see here, guys, I'm gonna close everything and I'm gonna fire the Chrome. I need to visit the page, of course. I'm visiting the page another time. It remembers me. If I go to console here and local storage, it's still there. Session storage, of course, it's gone. Alright, so with the local storage and session storage, you can do get item. Okay, of course here you have to use the name of. Did we use name as a key? You have to use a key. No, so if it's not the key, I'm gonna go here back in the local storage and see my keys here. I have color and cost. Sorry, so I'm running many examples. So if I go here and I use color, it's gonna give me red. If I use course, it's gonna be JS. If you do some mistake, it's a none. Or you could do, you can write really a loop to go through all your local stores and display them, display the values. All right. I want to clear one. Okay. I want to. Okay, this is a good example. If you want to, because they persist forever. If you want to remove them or remove some of them, what do? Very easy. So this applies also for the session store. So what do? I just do remove item, and you have to give the key. The key is color. So I'm going to remove the one with color. Application, you see the color is no longer there. So, or if I redisplay, the color was there here. I remove the color, okay, and it's removed. If you want to remove everything, you have to do it one by one, or just clear everything. Okay. Let's say this is a key or field, and this is value. By the way, you cannot use numbers. Huh? You have to use always the key and the value are all strings. So local storage, so we have here cost JS43, another field, another value. If you want to clear everything, either you use remove item one by one in a loop, or one shot clear. All right. So local storage and session storage are really easy. Local storage persists forever, okay, unless you have strict privacy in your browser and your browser is Firefox. I don't know about the others. Or you can use session storage, which persists data only for one session. This as a programmer, not as an end user who is using your website. The end user is not supposed to know what you are doing. Okay. I mean, sorry, it's not that he or she is not supposed, but most of them are not well informed. Right? Of course, when you put cookies, you should put it in your website that you are using cookies, so that the user are aware of you saving their private preferences. All right. So we have gone through all this. Let's go see an example here. I'm using this example. So I have here just an HTML, and when you run this the second time, so the first time I need to store. So always you do this. So for storing, so local storage, and you set the item, whatever item you want, okay. And to retrieve, you use the get item. All right. What I'm doing here, I'm saving data and putting the data next time in my divs here. Right. I can write something like this. And by the way, type of storage is that to make sure that the storage is supported by the browser, because some old version of the browser, they do not support local storage and session storage. Internet Explorer 8 or 7, okay, probably 7 does not allow type of storage. I don't have time, guys, to go and run this. Just take this one and run it in your old web browser. So you just fire up Internet Explorer. For those who do not remember how to check the old stuff, and let me create a new one. F12 as well. F12. You go down here, it's down here, and local. Oh, come on. Type of local storage. It's an object, or the object itself. So it exists here in 11. You check with 8. It's good. You check with 7. It's undefined. So 7 doesn't support the local storage. The storage. All right. That's how you check. So in your program, guys, you should do this for cross-browser and cross, if you like, versions compatibility. All right. So here I'm gonna say if this one, if this exists, means different from null, we're gonna run this. All right, same thing here for the second one. Otherwise, we're gonna have a null in your stuff. So session name. So I'm gonna run this, save, run in Chrome, local storage, Sifu, session storage, nothing there. F12, application, we have the local storage last name, Sifu. What about the session storage? Session name, Nas. So in my code here, I go to code, my code here, I'm checking whether the storage exists. I mean it's supported, yes. So I go here and save this and this, one in a local storage, one in the session storage. Then I check if local storage get item different from null, I go to test local storage. The second one is test session storage. Do I have this ID? Session name here. I'm using session name. Is it okay? Session name, yes. Why it's not using it? Okay, I'm gonna go here and see the session storage. Yeah, good. Session name. Now, what I'm doing here is this. I'm gonna check this one. Is it different? It's false. Why? Session name. Session name. That's weird. Object dot keys session storage session name. Values. Come on. Okay. Okay, this looks good. So the mistake is where session get item. Session name. It's a bit different from that. Oh, sorry. That's the, oh my gosh. That's the bad thing about the online, and nobody is correcting me. Okay, if you were in my class, I'm sure that many of you will be screaming, or you are screaming at your screen right now. Okay, you have a stupid mistake. Okay, sorry about that, guys. All right, and I have it not fair. All right. And next time I should not do this, if you like, and it's gonna remember it. I'm refreshing it to remember it. Alright, so next lecture we're gonna go to cookies. I thank you for watching the video.